Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is Denny. I hope you're all really well. What you can see here on the screen is $75 worth of parts. That's $75 Australian, $54 US with current conversion. And there's a case, the Antec 1100, that I got most of these parts in. I cleaned it up earlier, removed the stickers because I just hate stickers on cases. I don't know what it is, but anyway, so everything but the graphics card I got in that case for $50. You see in the previous video of this series me discovering what exactly I got. So right here we've got a GTX 780, which I picked up for $25, which is incredibly cheap for a 780 right now. There's a lot of performance there to be had for very little. So I've got the 780, we've got a 2TB Seagate hard drive. Let me turn that around. We've got 16 gigabytes of Corsair Vengeance DDR3 RAM. We've got a Z77 board. Underneath the cooler here is a i7-3770S 3.1 gigahertz, 4 core, 8 threads, and an Antec 520 watt 80 plus bronze certified semi-modular power supply. We got all of that except for the graphics card for $50 in a mystery PC in the last episode. So I'm going to take all of these parts, put them together, and see what sort of performance we can get out of $54 US worth of stuff. So let's get into it. So the PC is built and up and running. I did not know if this big helicopter of a fan at the top here was even going to work, because the fan sort of just pulled out when I was cleaning it, which made cleaning it really easy. But I put it back in there. I thought, let's see if it works, and it works. This controller here is doing its job, even though it's I don't know whether you'd say it's broken or missing parts. It looks like it's missing parts, but either way, this big sucker is spinning. This fan in here is spinning. This case is still pretty manky, but overall, not looking too bad. Everything's running pretty well. I would say I'm used to SSDs. I feel like the hard drives these days, while you get great storage, like a good amount of storage for a lot less money, I really do feel like that the hard drives are really becoming somewhat obsolete, because SSDs are just so quick. So it's all seems to be running fine. I've got VALORANT downloading, I've got Modern Warfare, Call of Duty WARZONE on here, Apex Legends getting installed. I got some Steam games on there. I even installed Halo Infinite, but I tried that earlier, being such a new game, and it doesn't appear the GTX 780 is supported on that game, at least not yet. And also, I did read online, minimum specifications are a 4 gigabyte graphics card. This is only a 3 gigabyte, but we're going to try a whole heap of other really popular games out, and get some benchmarks, temperatures, and just see, what sort of performance we can get out of $75 or $56 US. Sorry for the vertical camera. We're driving around the corner, well, not around the corner, but we're driving not far from here to pick up a gaming monitor. I know this seems like a pretty random thing to insert into the $75 gaming PC video, but there's a good reason why I'm doing this. I actually don't have a good gaming monitor. I don't have a good monitor for anything, to be honest. I did pick up a little 23-inch TV that has HDMI and component input, and I've been using it. But the problem is, full screen resolution is about 1600 by 1050 or something like that. Really unusual, not quite 1080p or full 1080p. And when I was playing the games on it, I couldn't, some games I couldn't force the 1080p, and I think it was also hampering performance. So this deal came up, supposedly a 24-inch Acer Predator gaming monitor for $80 Australian, or around, $80 Australian would be about $59 US. The guy says it all works fine. It's from 2019, and so we're going to go pick it up now and see exactly what we got. So a random little pickup adventure in the middle of this video. I hope you enjoy it. So we're at the man's house right now. He asked me if I could give him 45 minutes because he was at the shops. I gave him an hour and 10 minutes. Right here, and he's not home. I messaged him. He said, "Oh, sorry, I'll be another 10 minutes." I think he's legitimate. I don't think this is a rip-off. So we just got home. I've got the monitor in the back seat here. It's got a little bit of aesthetic damage, but nothing really bad. It's a little bit dirty. I can wipe it down. The guy said to me it was his son's. He says it was working a month ago when he last used it. His work bought him and all of his colleagues brand new monitors. This one's just got to go. I'm not sure how that works, but that is, for $80, a really good monitor, provided it works exactly how it should work. I don't really care if it's a little bit like the Predator logo down the bottom is a bit scuffed up or a bit chipped away. I don't really care about that. As long as it's good picture with no defects, I'm a happy man. So let's go check it out. And here we go. I just fiddled around with the brightness and the contrast a bit. I don't know how it's coming through on the video here, but I cannot spot any defects on the monitor anywhere. There's Tomb Raider on 1080p Ultra. I haven't got Afterburner running at the moment. Lara looks good. I mean, graphically speaking, she looks good. Let's see what sort of frame rate we got. This is the GTX 780. This is a $75 PC. So I'll get that light out of there. There we go. Now it is time for something we've all been waiting for, is what sort of performance can we get out of this $75 PC. $75 Australian, $54 US, I believe it is. Incredible value. These sorts of buys don't come up very often. It's an occasional sort of thing. But no more chit chat. Sit back, relax, and enjoy a little gameplay montage. So that is our $75 Australian or $54 US gaming PC. I hope that montage was good. I did my best to make the frames per second easy to see, just in case you're watching on the phone, just like I do myself. Now I will point out there are a couple of caveats to getting a PC to work that's this cheap and work that well. I had to buy a Wi-Fi dongle, which is $12. There is Wi-Fi built in on the motherboard, but it's missing the aerial, and I'm not close enough to my router for it to connect without it. And also, if you watched the previous video, the deep cool cooler that we got with it had a broken split peg that stopped it from giving sufficient pressure onto the CPU and properly cool it. So I happen to have a spare standard Intel cooler sitting around that I ended up putting on it, and it's cooling the CPU just fine. The CPU is not heating up or not doing enough like high level work to really build up enough heat to warrant a massive heat sink. And the graphics card, as you can see, the temperatures were at most around 70 degrees Celsius, and on a GTX 780 that's pretty standard. That's it's not too bad. We did change out the thermal paste on it and on the cooler on the CPU, and at the end of the day, if you want to play Valorant or Apex Legends or even Call of Duty Warzone. Now, Call of Duty Warzone was dancing between 40 and 60 frames a second, and it was the only game out of all the games that I tested that sort of had a little bit of stutter here and there. I did mess around with the settings quite a lot, tried to go for middle of the road as much as possible, and also keep the usage of our VRAM lower than 3GB, because if you go over, you're not going to have a good time, obviously. So we did that. Also put a mild overclock on the graphics card just to try and squeeze out a few extra frames. I don't know whether it made much of a difference. To be honest, I couldn't really tell. But at the end of the day, if you want a PC that's going to play those games, especially Valorant and Apex Legends, $75 Australian. Like, you can't really do any better than that. That's insane. And like I said, these deals do not come up very often at all. But I wanted to share it, and I wanted to show you guys exactly what you can get out of used PC parts, just like a few other YouTubers that I've seen that do a really damn good job of it. But at the end of the day, I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, hit subscribe, hit the like button, and also stay tuned on the channel for these future videos. I bought a Wii U for $50 Australian. It came with games. In fact, I got a message from the guy that sold it to me just the other day, and he said he's got another game that he forgot to give me. I said to him, look, it's a good game, let me give you some money. And he said, no, don't worry about it. I'll drop it off when I come by in a week. So when I've got that game, we'll have a look and see what we've got. We'll test it out and see what sort of good value we got. But also bought 3 mystery Xbox 360s. I do now know what I've got. But I'll show you guys very soon. And also, I've got an X99 PC that I bought for $210. I know what's in it. I've already filmed me opening it up. That video is going to come very soon. And I'm thinking of turning that beast into my new editing rig. Anyways, have a great day. Take care of yourself. And have a great Christmas. Bye.